What is up, guys? Justin here, and today I'm doing another JWard talk. Today we're interviewing my good friend, George Owens. And yeah, hello, George.
Hi, how you doing?
Not too bad. So this is for a school project. We had to interview a senior, and so I thought there'd be no one better than you. So let's just sort of start this off. Nice, quick, sort of icebreaker question. How was it growing up?
How was it growing up?
Yeah.
Terrible. I had to leave school when I was 14 years old to go to the woods to drive 2 horses
Wow.
for a contractor down in Sheet Harbor. And I drove them all winter. And the snow was anywhere between 4 to 6 feet deep. And we had to go through that snow. But the horses broke the path for me. I had 2 beautiful horses.
Do you remember the names of the horses?
Dick and Bill. Dick and Bill.
Out of the time that you spent at school, what was your favorite subject and why?
Well, I never had one. Math. Math would be what I had, but that was it. But they took me out of school to go to the woods at 14 to help Dad, because Dad couldn't afford to keep us all. There were 7 of us, and I'm one of the 3 boys, the oldest. But there's 7 of us in the family, 6 boys and a girl.
So were you sort of the one that got most of the chores? Would your parents ask you to do most of the chores within the family?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
So just a quick question out of curiosity. When did you meet your wife, Jerry?
When did I meet her?
Yeah.
60 years ago. 60 years ago. 65 years ago.
May I ask where in particular?
At Sheet Harbor at a masquerade.
It's at school. That's the first time I opened it.
So what was the first job that you ever did?
My first job? Woods, in the woods.
Driving the first one? Alright, so what would be, like, let's say, after the time that you had at school, besides the woods one? Sort of, probably just after 20. What was your first job after that one?
I was with the Minder stores.
What did you do in the minion stores?
I was the operator of the basement where the goods are.
So I guess that meant you helped build stuff?
Yeah, bring stuff up.
What's been one of your favorite jobs that you've had? You could pick one.
The one I just finished, the city, recreation.
So could you tell me a little bit more about the your city job?
Yeah, I was foreman there. Had about 20 men. We looked after all the ball fields in the city. Looked after the rinks.
Playgrounds.
What?
Playgrounds.
Playgrounds.
And so you'd go around and make sure they're all safe and that they're all up to code and stuff?
Get the garbage picked, to make sure the garbage is all picked up off of these every week. We had to do them every week.
And I was wondering, did you enjoy this job because it was sort of your way of giving back to the community?
Yeah, it was.
I could tell you something, even around every night after supper, we checked all the balls. I knew every few.
Hear what you're saying?
Because, what did you do here?
So one part of this interview that I just had to do, because you and I are both a big fan of pro wrestling. I know. If you could just go back, when did you first get interested in wrestling?
Oh, great, that's something now. Well, I think what got me into wrestling was Dad. He used to come from Sheet Harbor to in here to wrestle every Thursday night, and he'd bring 5 people with him from down Sheet Harbor to see the wrestling. And if you said you didn't, there was a fake, he wouldn't bring you again.
Because back in those days, wrestling was always very considered to be a real thing. And of course, several years later, when Vince McMahon was getting into a little bit of trouble, he just said it was all fake and he spoiled the beans. And ever since then, there's been documentary after documentary stating this fact over and over again. And then there have been storylines that have broke that fact and tried to make it as real as possible. Alright. So who was one of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Now or
Just in general. Because if you had to pick one favorite out of any time period.
well, see, I'd have a couple.
Go ahead.
I'd have Ronnie Morgan. Ronnie Morgan, my buddy. He used to be Mass Marvel here in the city. And I always went seeing him. Beautiful. And then next one, John Cena.
John Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say this now. It's funny, the facts that you can find about John Cena these days, because they're all over the internet.
Yeah.
Anything that seems sort of off or doesn't make sense with Cena, everybody will just talk about it forever.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to mention this right now. They own a dog. The dog's name's Stewie, and he is a bit of a barker. So if you hear barking, it's probably him saying hi or something.
Oh, it could be me.
Anyways. So yeah. Was there anything that you enjoyed about your very first job at 14?
Oh, I loved driving the horses. I had a good time in the woods, throwing through the snow. Snow up to your arse.
I'm gonna ask, was there any time where the job seemed dangerous at all? Any sort of particular moment?
No. Well, I suppose if you look at it another way, what you do, you bring the logs out, the horse will bring the logs out, and you snap the things off and roll them on a logger. And you had a trowel that you roll the logs up on. That wasn't that dangerous. No, I don't think it would be. I never got hurt anyway.
Mm. You were probably too tough for the logs. So I would ask at this point if you happen to have joined any team sports, but you weren't in school for very long.
No, I was there for a while. I used to play ball.
Oh, you used to be a basketball player?
No, ball player.
Softball.
Softball. Schools.
Did you ever win anything in softball?
I got a couple trophies around somewhere. Yeah.
You were good bowler.
And I was a bowler.
Did you do anything outside, like any extracurricular activities, or was it mainly the job?
Just the job. And
so let me ask you, when did you buy your first house?
when did I buy my first house?
Yeah.
Holy Christ. Jerry, any dates?
1964.
19 what?
64.
1964.
Sure.
I'm just trying because part of the school project will be to take this sort of interview and then turn it into an actual story.
Yeah.
So the more specific I can get within the video and the key facts, I'll be able to use and make sure they get in there. So yeah, what was so you were a softball player?
Yes,
did you know your teammates very well?
Did I know my teammates?
Yeah.
I knew them all.
Were they? Would you say best friends?
Yeah, good friends, but they wasn't the ball player I was. I used to grab the ball in one hand when it was
You
hit.
didn't wear gloves.
I didn't wear gloves. And the ball always stopped in that hand.
I would believe them. So, sort of, when did the transition happen, or did you do bowling at the same time as softball?
Well, the same weeks, in the weeks. We'd go bowling on Monday night, and we'd go ball Wednesday night, or Friday night. That's the way that worked.
So you did them both at the same time?
Yeah, both at the same time, yeah. Not the same night or anything.
No, but you certainly did them within the same week.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to play any musical instruments by chance, or no?
Oh, no, but no.
You bought a violin?
I bought a violin, I'll tell you something. I bought a violin. 3 of us bought violins.
And you went to take
And
lessons?
we were going to take lessons. So we had to go to Bedford to meet this. What's his name, Jerry?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Teacher.
Someone, a teacher anyway, from Bury, had a shop out there. So he took us into his place.
All right.
And the 3 of us. And the first song that we played was Rubber Dolly. And you had and Christ, the first thing you know, this little fellow, 13 years old, comes through the door with his violin, and he could play everything. And we couldn't play nothing. So we said, to hell with this. We didn't stay. We never stayed.
No, it seems kind of funny because the first song that we learn is Hot Cross Buns. So it's like 1, 3, 4. So it almost sounds tame in comparison to the starter song that you had.
Yeah, well, that's how far I got.
Did you do anything else for the school? Were you in any sort of school groups besides obviously the softball team?
I don't think I did. No, I don't think.
We didn't have that.
We never had nothing then for
Was it
our years. That's
Yeah.
65, 70 years ago. That's when I was in school. Well, I didn't do much for school.
But you certainly kept yourself busy.
Yeah, I kept busy, yeah.
Well, all right. And with that, there is the end. George, it was nice talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering the questions. I'm Justin. He's George. And we'll see you all later.